A group of artists, including Gemma Ramirez, do work for shops. They were asked to work on a figure of Jesus Christ in a church in Spain. Something strange is seen by Ramirez while she is working. This figure seems to know some things that only it can tell you. A crack was found in a statue of Jesus, and when the statue was fixed, they found a secret time capsule inside. In the past, this figure was broken, and now a fissure has made a crack in its surface. This crack is what led to the finding of LED by accident. Ramirez thinks that the figure has a strange thing inside it. She can see that something is hidden in the middle. She and the other repair think at first that bugs have eaten into the statue and are now living inside it. Since the figure is made of wood, it wouldn't be strange if bugs ate their way through it. Ramirez and her friends work with old art all the time. All of them work for a Madrid-based company called Da Vinci Restoro. Important works of art have been brought back to life in Spain by Da Vinci Restoro for 20 years. The business was started by Ramirez and Angeles Camba in 2000. Both of them had degrees in fine art. They have worked on a lot of different pieces over the course of their careers and gained a lot of knowledge. They're not just with Ramirez and Camba. Some of the pros who work at Da Vinci Restoro are very good at what they do. Some people on the team might be good at woodworking, while others might be better at the design side of things. A lot of the Da Vinci series is about paintings. Toro team does, but each piece is different in how they do it. The restoration team said they could work with paintings on canvas, board, or even metal. In the same way, team members should be able to fix up an old building. They know how to fix things like roofs, walls, floors, and even touch up surfaces inside a house. One big project that the Da Vinci Restoro team worked on was the Madrid Círculo de Bellas Artes Center. There were some issues with this cultural center that got worse over time. The professionals at Da Vinci Restoro have also fixed up churches that were falling apart. In buildings, there are often fragile and important works of art, so this shouldn't be a big surprise. It can work out. Old pieces of art can be brought back to life through restoration. Someone skilled can fix something up and make it look like new again. If a painting has been dirty for a while, cleaning it could bring out a feature that was hidden, like the artist's signature. Once more, it's been a while since the Da Vinci Restoro team fixed up art, but one of their 2017 jobs got a lot of attention from around the world. They were asked to work on something at Saltillo de la Ribera, a church in northern Spain. There is a very important piece of art in the church of Santa Vegeta. It is a figure of Jesus Christ made of wood. It is called the Cristo del Miserere. The figure might have been in better shape before the Da Vinci Restoro guys came to fix it up. One thing was that it was dirty and needed to be cleaned, but there were bigger issues as well. A piece of one of the peaks had broken off. Ramirez and her coworker found out that there was a secret space inside that held something important. They finally opened it up to see what was inside, and they were happy with what they saw. A lot of hollow wooden figurines are made so the wood doesn't crack. But inside this figure, the restorers found 2 leather parchments with writing on them. They must have been meant to last a long time, because the parchments are made of vellum, a type of leather that is known for being strong. The British newspaper, the Daily Mail, asked Ramirez to talk about what had happened in 2017. She said that the paper from the 18th century was found when the Christ of the Cross was taken apart. The artist gave them 2 loops and the wood is hollow on the inside. Through her work, Ramirez has seen a lot of great art. This has to be one of the most surprising things she's ever seen. After all, sometimes secret notes just appear out of the blue. What did these letters say, and what were they about? In one letter, the society of the time and the place where the statue was made are talked about. The author Mingus says what the letters mean in a different part. Also, the scrolls talk about the wealth of Spain during Mingus's time. For instance, the author talks about what kinds of food grow in his area. He says people grew oats, barley weed, and rye there and made wine. He also talks about some of the worst parts of his life at the time in his letter. One example is that he talks about how common sickness and illness are. In his writings, Mingus says that the courts were based in Madrid. He also tells them who was in charge of Spain at the time the book was written. King Carlos II had been in charge of Spain since 1759 at that point. Along with being King of Spain, Carlos was also King of Naples from 1734 to 1759. A few people now call Carlos an enlightened despot because he led Spain through a rejuvenation of its economy and society that didn't last long. The Spanish Inquisition, which took place from 1478 to 1834 and was a big deal for a long time, is also talked about in Mingus' letter. The wider Inquisition was a part of the Catholic Church that tried to find and punish people in Europe and the United States who didn't agree with its beliefs and ways of doing things. It wasn't just focused on Spain. People today remember the Inquisition for how cruel it was, especially to Muslims and Jews. Spain had the worst of it. The Spanish Inquisition lasted for hundreds of years and killed 32,000 people. He wanted to tell people about the future and his time and place. To put it another way, he saved time with the Jesus figure. People put things from the time the capsule was made in them and call them time capsules. People make these to get in touch with past selves and show them what life was like in the present. Truth bombs are often buried, but this story shows that there are other, more creative ways to hide them. Arroyo also said it was interesting that a time capsule was found in a church in Spain. And while statues often have hollow parts, it's not often that you find handwritten notes inside. The two scrolls couldn't just be put back in the capsule after the Da Vinci repair team found them. We think this note about modern life is a nice thing to do and hope that people will enjoy it in the future. After all, Mingus's note let us see into his time, and our children and grandchildren might feel the same way about ours. These things have been taken to the Church of Santa Gita. There is still no official word on whether or not Mingus's scrolls and their contents are real, but if they are, it will be a great honor. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.